Hello and welcome to Conversations That Connect. We are your hosts Suki and Taylor.
Join us as we explore the IT, digital, accounting and finance recruitment industry and dive into the factors shaping our careers and life.
Get ready for engaging discussions that bridge work, life and really everything in between.
Grab your headphones, sit back and let's explore the connections that drive success.
So I think that there's probably two parts to this conversation about immigrating to Australia and have the right visas to work. It's getting it ready to do and get into the role, and what visas, it's specifically in our recruitment space with Montague Group, what visas we can work with and our clients work with. And then the other part of the conversation is getting your resume ready for that application and just the journey that it takes. I think we've got a fortunate position where we have a true blue Aussie on the one side and then an immigrant on the other side. So I think we can talk about the process. And I did the process, like I did my application for our family in, I think it was 2004. We did the application. So that's 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So I know it's changed a lot. But the mental process that you go through is the same when we speak to people now. That's here in Australia. It's not just, we make the move, sell everything from where we live, sell the house, sell the furniture, put the dogs and cats maybe in somebody else's care or ship them over to the country, put them in quarantine. It's a big, big process.
Yeah,
I said to somebody, I think we were here for about 3 years, and I had a conversation with a candidate, and they just arrived that probably in that first month. I had a conversation with them. And it just struck me that it's probably the most humbling experience you will ever go through. It's, and I can't explain it to anybody that hasn't done it before, but you have to be prepared to go, okay, if I have to start here, I'll start here. Okay, if I have to redo my resume, I'll redo my resume. Okay, if I have to, I will.
Yeah.
Because the country that you come from, you probably come from a small town or a city and you know people, you have a network, you arrive here and you've got no network. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows your background. That's daunting, very daunting, and nobody is going to build that network for you. Sure. You have to build it. And that's why we harp on when we speak to candidates. Go out, go to networking events, meet people, build that network, build the network. Taylor's, this is not an exact example, but Taylor, you've just immigrated to the Sunshine Coast from the Gold Coast, and you had to do exactly the same in terms of networking.
Yeah, getting outside of your comfort zone. And also throughout the networking that I've done, I have learned so much as well about the industry, what opportunities are available. I had no idea that half of the opportunities that are here on the Sunshine Coast were even available on the Sunshine Coast. So yeah, definitely get out to those networking events. There are so many networking groups and events here on the Sunshine Coast. It's kind of hard to get, you can't get to all of them. So I guess really getting specialized and doing it with purpose is probably something that I would suggest. Looking up on LinkedIn, there is a space where you can see the people who are actually attending. If you are on LinkedIn, events there, and you can actually see who's attending. And just look at those people who are attending so you get a gauge of, okay, these people are from this company, these people are from this company, these are new grads, these are uni students, all of that. And through them, connect with them, send them a message to say, hey, I'm going to this event, would love to catch up. I'm new. blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And that's really how I grew my network as well, is doing that exact same thing, because then I wasn't going into an event completely blind that I didn't know anybody. I prepared to meet with people, and I knew familiar faces of photos from LinkedIn as well. So it wasn't as daunting.
Yes.
So that's probably something that I would highly recommend doing.
And remember, you're also it's your first event, and it's probably 10 other people's first event as well. So they feel the same as you.
Yeah.
And if you
Everybody's
can
in
strike
the
up a
same boat.
conversation with one, that's one more person that you know.
Yeah.
So yes, humbling, and you need to be okay with doing the hard work in terms of putting in the time. I know that that's not easy. And then in terms of visas for us, if you are not in the country and you don't have the right to work in Australia full-time, 40 hours a week, the potential of us being able to help you is very, very small. Not because we don't want to, because the industry that we're working in requires that.
Yeah.
We do have a shortage in skills in this space, but even with that, clients don't want to go through the process of sponsoring someone if they don't have to, because it's also a costly exercise. It's no guarantee at the end of the day. So they would rather wait to find somebody that's in the industry, in the area, ready to start working tomorrow, that can come and meet the manager, have a conversation face to face. So it's almost that they're eliminating the risk as much as possible for them. So what I've been in this country now since 2009, I haven't placed anybody that's on a visa that's not able to work full time. So you have to be permanent residency, that PR visa.
Yeah.
Key one.
Yeah.
Yes. So for people applying from overseas, I'm sorry, but we can't help if you don't have the visa and you don't have a specific date that you're going to be in the country to say, I'm going to arrive on Tuesday and I'm ready to do interviews on Wednesday. Well, then certainly we can help. But other than that, unless you have a skill set that is so rare worldwide that a client is willing to sponsor you or take the risk to interview you if you don't have an opportunity or you don't have flights yet booked to come to Australia, Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, wherever.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not great news, but unfortunately that's just where the market is.
Yeah, for sure. And if you do have those visas, say you're on a grad visa or something like that, a temporary visa. I know on Seek, most companies and agencies, they do ask for the working rights. And if you have a graduate or a temporary visa, most people won't look at you because, number one, it's temporary. So if they're investing the money, you only have a temporary visa. But also, with that, the temporary visa could be 6 months, 12 months, 5 years. We don't know that. So if you put that visa on your physical resume, I spoke to a candidate, and again, I probably would have ruled her out because she had a temporary visa, but her resume stated she had a temporary visa with full working rights until 2027. Immediately, I was like, you know what? 2027, that's in a few years' time. That's plenty of time. I ended up speaking with her. Her husband's actually sponsored. Her husband's workplace is sponsoring their permanent residency. So by the time her visa is running out, they would have had permanent residency. So again, that's something I can bring to the client and say, hey, yep, she's on a temporary visa now, but she's getting sponsorship via this company, via her husband, and she'll have permanent residency. So, which again gives her full-time working rights forever.
Correct.
So if you do have a temporary visa, making sure you put exactly what visa you have and the date that it expires up the top of your resume.
Yes.
So you can start getting more opportunities, more phone calls, because if it is long term, then people kind of see the value in that as well.
Yeah. And again, it's we're not migration agents, so we don't have the ins and outs of every visa, but you as an individual know what your visa is. So put that on the resume. It's that paint by numbers that we talk about in your resume. It's a small fact, but it's actually a huge, huge fact to rule you in or rule you out.
100%.
Huge. That's it. It's really, it's pretty straightforward in terms of visas, who we can work with and who we can't. It's that 40 hours a week if you're full-time working rights. You're in Australia. And if it's a permanent residency visa or if it's not, but you have the full working rights, make sure you state that on your resume. Not on the cover letter, on the resume.
Under your name, like right up the top. Yes. I want to see it straight away.
Correct. And I hope that helps. It's
I know it's tough out there and sort of there's a lot of people struggling but I mean we're all in this together, and if we can help we will, but I think just sort of maybe looking at those opportunities that you're suitable for, and also popping your visa status and working rights and date on your resume can hopefully change some things for you. So
perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Conversations That Connect.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends.
Connect with us on social media at Montague Group on LinkedIn and Facebook. And please feel free to drop us a line with any topics you would like us to discuss, and of course, any questions that you do have.
Until next time, guys, stay curious and stay connected.